the trail!
And you're not even on a trail anymore. You're on a giant walking, like,
I know exactly. That's
end
why we're off the
end city.
trail.
We're literally off the trail, several feet, thousands feet up the trail.
Yes, but welcome back. So where we left off, um, Orchid, Finara, and Art traversed through Western Cantor to find the city of Minthable. Enduring potential traps, a ghostly ranger, a trio of digging insectoid-like creatures, and outrunning a wyvern, they find themselves in the forests of Guanyamalos. There, after traversing for several hours, getting lost several times, Orchid starts to feel through her connection with the force around her the soft vibrations of something moving through the almost redwood-like force. They follow it for a good period of time until they see on the horizon through the trees a giant, by giant standards, ent wandering, lumbering through the forest. As they stare in awe, they are quickly descended upon by a number of the Minthable wardens, led by Galandan, who, after a quick conversation with the trio, escort them to the city of Minthable, being careful to ensure that they aren't stepped on by the wandering city. They hop on one of the feet and begin to climb up the leg, all the while asking Galandan questions, finding that he is one of... Oh, I gotta change that. One of many who are elves of Minthable who have lived multiple lives here in the city. They continue to ascend till they reach the stomach region of this wandering traveling end. And as they glance up, notice the giant tree embedded in the chest. Soft flowers and leaves falling every once in a while as the city moves. Orchid, eager to find the aid that she so desperately yearns for, asks for a direction to head. Galandan quickly responds with finding the Temple to the Wild Mother, the space where the best possible chance for the answers that Orchid seeks are. And I think that's where we left off. You guys hadn't quite left to travel there yet. You guys are still in this square, the great tree far above your heads. But the day, or now midday, is yours, and your path is your own, to wander as you wish.
Okay, well, that was a lot of stuff to carry up those stairs. So first, I'd like to put all this stuff down. And then second, let's find the temple. That's my vote.
Okay,
Of course, yeah. I'm so sorry that we're not as strong as you are. I could try to do my best. I mean, if you
No,
need
no,
help.
it's fine. I'm just ready to put it down, you know? But
Oh,
I'm
of
happy to
course.
carry things for you. It's, yeah. And you too are, of course, yes.
And also too, if you need me to do any type of massaging later, I mean, I did remember have the spa back home, so I'm very good with my hands.
Uh, uh, uh,
I mean-
is that a sign for an inn, over there?
Oh, is it?
Sure. Yeah, you can see in the square there is a small sign for an inn called the Creaking Boughs.
The creaking mouse?
Boughs with a B.
Boughs?
Boughs, like
Boughs, that
boughs of
makes sense.
boughs of a tree. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're in a tree.
Makes sense, okay.
And Gallandan would very much so, kind of like as you guys are saying that and pointing it out. Yes, the Creaking Boughs is the premier establishment for those who wish to find rest here in the city. There are a number of others, but those are much smaller in accommodation and far fewer in room. That we don't have very many guests, so when we do treat with others, we usually put them here.
Great. Let's go.
Thank you kindly.
Is there anything else I can assist you with before I depart?
Any tips? Like, is it customary to bring offerings when going to the temple, for instance?
Not necessarily, no. I would say let go of your comforts and listen to what's around you. Listen to nature. While Minthable was founded by the great lawbringer, it is meant to be a gift of nature, of civility within nature. If anyone would like to make a religion check, you may.
Yeah.
I'd say yeah, go ahead, Fanara. Yeah.
Oh my god! Not 20! 24! Yay!
Would I have advantage being from a temple that's...
I'll give you a D4. I wouldn't
Ooh,
say
a D4?
I wouldn't say advantage because that would come in the form of proficiency if you have chosen proficiency with
Wait,
religion.
could we say
But
that
I'd say I'll give you
Fanara massaged at least maybe the forearm of Orchid in order to give her guidance?
Sure.
I see.
Sure.
We've expanded beyond the hand now.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure.
Just all of a sudden it's like
Yeah.
We've made our way up.
What
I
is
hope
this
that
story?
this helps relieve the tension that you're feeling in your wow, you have really big forearm muscles. All right.
Is that a hang on real quick though, like real talk. Is that like a positive 1d4 or a negative 1d4? Cuz like I kind of feel like you're distracting Orchid right now.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't know.
No, because see, here's what. Orchid is having a very religious experience because of this.
I swear to God.
But I might not be the correct religious experience.
True.
Is what I'm saying.
Wait, so did I give myself
I mean,
the buff?
okay, I have a 6 total. That's, yeah. It's,
And 24.
A 6,
So I gave myself the buff.
That's with the D4.
yeah. I rolled poorly.
Now I know why you wanted advantage.
Yes.
I'd
like,
say
shouldn't I know this?
I'd say while Fanara is like, oh my gosh, like you just carried all our bags up here, quick massage. You are very distracted by that and just everything going on around you, and completely forget what it is that you're focusing on. Fanara, meanwhile,
Yes.
you remember reading that long before the gods ascended to their various planes, or to wander around the planes themselves, Arathis, the Lawbringer, and Melora, the Wild Mother, were considered a pair. They were, for all intents and purposes, while the gods don't marry, a couple. And had intense love for one another. However, like many things, Arathis, not only being the lawbearer, but a god of civilization, and Melora being the goddess of nature, you have two conflicting ways of life, two conflicting lifestyles. And over time, as the world began to grow, so did the separation between the two of them. With a natural 20, I will also give you that in the brief researches that you did of Minthfabul, you would have found that it was a gift. Minthfabul was a request from Arathis to... No, Corellian's the Archheart. Arathis requested that a civilization be made out of nature to show his love for the Wild Mother. And thus Minthfabul was born.
Okay. Would I know also too of any type of ceremony or like a certain way to kind of show respect because of that information?
I would say the general guidance of Galandan was to more or less like get rid of that idea of like you're within a civilization and become more attuned to the natural forces around you. So think less of being in a city, a sprawling urban environment, and more of this place is living, breathing nature.
Okay. If I remember correctly, this place was a gift, was it not? It was a request from Arathis. It was kind of like in dedication to his love for the Wild Mother, if I read correctly.
Not much of our city is known to the outside world. For you to find somebody who has written in such detail, you are gifted indeed. Yes, this...
Oh, thank you. I just like to read a lot. It keeps me occupied. In the wee hours of the night, sometimes I don't get a lot of sleep because then my brain starts thinking and then I can't shut it off sometimes. But when I read, then eventually I end up passing out. Usually I end up passing out on my brother because he ends up sharing a bed with me every now and again when we're on our travels.
Reading makes you fall asleep? That just makes me stay up longer.
Well, eventually I end up being kind of at peace because I'm trying to, like, in a weird way, settle my mind. But then my mind is still, busy with thoughts. But at the same time, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it's very peaceful. And then I end up falling asleep eventually for reading so many chapters of different books. But I find it very interesting. I like learning about different civilizations, different types of people from all over the place. Because I feel like if you know more about other cultures and languages and such, then, it allows you to kind of have a better understanding of other people. And then, I don't know, I think that people get along better that way. You understand one another.
Usually when I'm up late at night reading, my brain just gets really, really full, and then I just write things into the notebook, and then after that I pretty much pass out.
See, that's what I was trying to explain. It's sort of like that. Just, except I don't take as many notes. Sometimes I just underline things, just so I can remember. Like when I'm learning Infernal. Infernal's very difficult to remember.
Seems like a really complicated language, but it seems like a fun one, though.
It has been.
Why are you trying to learn Infernal?
Oh, there's a really, really nice person that I met at a bar once, and I was really intrigued when he was kind of telling me about his homeland, and then I wanted to learn a little bit more about their people, and then I figured, oh, I got to learn the language in order to be able to talk with the people, and then it kind of started down there. I'm also turned to learning Sylvan and some other things. I know Goblin and I know Dwarvish and Elvish, and of course I know Halfling because our Halfling.
Yeah, learning languages is fun.
Interesting. You must be very learned indeed, then.
So you're saying we just need to be connected to nature, pretty much, in order to basically kind of, that's our offering, is to really connect and to understand the beauty around us.
He also said to be quiet and listen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It is, but it's really amazing how much you know.
Am I supposed to talk now?
You can. He laughs for a second and smiles, and you are more than. You can talk as you wish. There is no limit to the amount of conversation that you can have here. However, if one is truly trying to appreciate all that is going on, sometimes listening to the silence is calming and will bring clarity.
Oh, I see. All right.
And he kind of gives you, Orchid, the look of like, can I take my leave? Without directly saying it.
I really appreciate all your guidance till now. I hope we meet again before we leave, but I'm sure you have other things to get back to.
Yes, I must return to my troop and continue to keep watch over the outskirts of the city. And he, quickly kind of bows to the two of you and with a quick sisters, and then turns to follow the path that you walked up and head back down to the foot. Actually, hang on. No, he doesn't. He has his little wingsuit, so he's just going to run to the edge of the city and jump off and then glide down, because that's what he's going to do.
Wait, like Aang? He has a glider?
No, he doesn't have a glider. He's more like a sugar glider, where like he's got the little flappies, but they're more of like, they're made out of leaves and things rather than like leathery flap.
Ow.
Some sturdy leaves.
Yeah.
I want one of those. Wow.
I
That's
don't.
amazing.
That looks. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
think
you guys are like
dynamic enough.
Where you guys are at, you guys are easily like 300-ish feet above ground. So he's just like straight up, just running and jumping 300 feet above ground, and then gliding down.
Aren't we only like halfway up this thing? Jeez.
Yep, this thing's tall. Yeah, no, the forests themselves, the city brushes the tops of the trees at its full height.
I thought you said the tops of the trees were like 300 feet.
Well, then it stands above the tops of the trees. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, no,
I just
trees would not be
you...
trees would not be 600 feet tall. No way. No, I would say
like the tallest
maybe
tree in the world.
You guys are about 150 up then. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the tallest trees in the world is like 370 feet.
Yeah, well, this is a fantasy make-believe world.
It is.
So
it is.
Trees
so, like, you can say your trees
want.
are 600 feet. I just remembered that it was in the range.
I know.
I
No.
just remembered that.
No, they're. I mean, they're relatively tall. Yeah. Thank you.
And,
It's been 2 weeks. It's fine. I'm allowed to.
it is. Yeah.
But yes, you guys quickly go to the oh my god, what do I call it? Creaking bows? Creaking bow?
The creaking
Yeah,
bows.
creaking of the
Freaking
bows.
bows.
Creaking bows. There we go. You go to the creaking bows. I was like, where the heck are my notes? And I couldn't find them. You quickly go to the creaking bows. As you enter it's a very airy space. It's meant to allow a lot of like the natural movement and shifting of the city, along with some of the airways that are coming through. So it's very kind of just like open ceiling, open concept. As you enter, there is a small fountain, like off to the side of the central bar, that emanates with like this just very like cool, almost like silvery liquid that's coming from it. A elf is standing behind the bar, shorter, cropped brown hair, pair of glasses on their face, a little bit freckly. Shorter than the two of you, but definitely taller than you, Art. Wearing very simple trousers, leather, like a nice little vest with like splotches of greens and browns, with a linen shirt over or underneath. Hi, welcome to the Creaking Boughs. And you look around, the place is relatively empty. There are one or two patrons getting drinks, but you would imagine around midday, if there were any travelers, they'd be out and about, or there just aren't a lot of people that visit this city. Can I? And he comes around. Can I help you with your bags and collect some of your things? And he starts to kind of like help relieve some of the weight from you, Orchid. Are you looking to get a room? Can I get anything situated for you?
Oh yeah, a couple or 3 rooms would be great, if they're available.
Um, let me check. And he like turns around to look at the bar, and he goes, "Yep, I can get you 3 rooms right away. And here, let me." And he like grabs your pack and like throws it over his shoulder. I got it. Just follow me, please. And he starts walking down a shorter hallway to a set of rooms, and this is one right here. And then he goes to the second and opens this is another, and then a third, and this is your third room. They're a little bit smaller than your standard inn, depending on where you've traveled from, but they should accommodate the 3 of you relatively well.
That is very appreciated.
Thank you so much. May I ask how much is it per night? Like your rate?
For the 3 rooms, I can do, let's see, roughly, it's been a while, it'd be 15 silver pieces.
Okay, amazing. That's a really good deal, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you be requiring any food or drink?
Food sounds great right now,
yes,
actually.
please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will go get that situated right away. That'll be roughly an additional 5 silver pieces for the 3 of you.
No
Fantastic.
worries.
Oh,
And
thank you.
he drops your stuff inside the room and just kind of scurries off behind the bar. You see him go through a set of double doors, and you hear couple seconds of quiet go by before you hear the ting 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 of like a bunch of pots and pans just dropping off of some sort of shelf. And a second go
Oh, I
by
guess
and
they
like
haven't had guests in a while.
skittering
Not even
across.
with meals. Interesting.
But the rooms are simple. They open up to views of the path that Minthable is walking. So you can see the boughs of the trees before you as the wandering city is making its way through Guanyamalos. It's very much like the rest of this place. Pretty open concept. There are glass windows, but it's more of like those double glass paned windows where you can open it up and it's just completely breezy. Let all the air in.
Dilkar, you gotta see this. Just pull Dilkar out and just show him out the window.
He immediately you like shove him out the window, and it doesn't like
No, show him, not shove him. show him.
I was like, wow.
Like that's bold of you. But no, Dukar takes a look out and just kind of does like you watch his little hands just kind of out to the side, and he's like staring out as the wind, the little bit of wind is rushing in through the window, and just like half like dog out the window, like sniffing and just like taking in the surroundings. Um,
Here you go, buddy. Stretch your legs for a little bit. You've been kind of cooped up in here for a little while. We gotta get you walking around more.
you plop them down, and in the corner there is a almost like a bed of leaves. Like if you had a what is it, like a beanbag chair, but made out of like a pile of leaves, and he just rushes straight for that and dives into that, and you can see him start to like flip and twirl around. In each of the rooms, there's also a small desk and a small table for washing up. But a very simple, plain room meant more for quick stays rather than extended ones.
Yep, Orchid's definitely gonna like wipe the sweat off before probably do a change of clothes.
Yeah, I think that as far as just like cleaning up and also too kind of like organizing her things in the room.
Oh, here. I
maybe going
think,
through
I
your
think I
pack?
have something for that. And Art's gonna reach into one of his pockets and hand you a cloth from out of his pocket that, well, it seems like it's seen some better days.
Wait, to
To
which
who?
one?
To Orchid.
Oh,
Yeah, get a little pat down and all that. You see, it works really well for me, as he points to all the smears and everything across the top of his head.
is it like crusted with dirt and stuff?
It's like
Pretty much.
it's a straight up grease towel. Like
Pretty much.
it was covered at one point. It was covered in butter, and then he wiped it on his face and got all the soot on it. So now it's just
That's how you know it's working.
I really appreciate that art, but it's okay. I got my own stuff and I hand it back.
Oh, okay. Well, suit yourself.
Oh, you know what? Before we head over to dinner, I have a balm that will help ease those tense muscles. 1 second. And then she's gonna go into her room, go into her bag to try to search for the balm. Does she find anything?
I would say yes at this point. You find another letter,
All right.
folded nice and neatly. Emblazoned upon it is in like a wax stamp is the sigil of the Wormhaven house, which you would immediately think probably Corvus would be the first to come to mind. But yes, you do find your second letter.
Oh, when did he put this in my bag? She's gonna open it up, kind of like she's trying to figure out like when did this happen? Like how long has this been in there? And she's going to try to open it up to read the contents.
Yeah. I mean, you have the letter. I actually don't.
Yes.
So if you would like to read the
Yes.
letter aloud, you can. If you'd like to read it quietly, you'll
I
also
will,
do.
as a reminder. As a reminder. The final act. Even if the morrow is barren of promises, nothing shall forestall my return. To become the dew that quenches the lands, to spare the sands, the seas, the skies, I offer thee this silent sacrifice. My life on loop and endlessly cannot be spent upon you. So I dream until I can no longer. My gratitude is infinite as my life has been. Still, in dimness, until you gave me a single smile. Travel far, travel free, may the change be in your favor. Oh. And then she kind of is like thinking, can I do any type of like anything like to try to figure out if Fanar would actually understand the subtext of this poem?
If you want to
Or
do
this piece of writing.
if you want to do an insight check, I'll give you an insight.
Okay.
I feel like that would be yeah.
I swear on everything. This Umbral Oculus, it's 20. It's 20. I promise. I promise. Over Oculus's hot
I would-
tonight.
I would-
This is
I
a
would-
+7, which is a 27 for insight.
Jeez. I would say you are able to pick up on the subtleties of Corvus's letter, and understand the meaning behind his words.
Do I understand that, like, it's basically kind of a hint at, as far as like a interest in a different way?
If this was a middle school like crush letter, it would read, "Do you like me?" And there'd be a box that says yes, there'd be a box that says no, and then there'd be a box underneath that says please say yes. But yes, with a 27, that's what you get.
I had to make sure. I was pretty sure I knew the subtext, the actual context, the biography, the autobiography, whatever it was, everything in between. Yes. So
yeah, this is. I would say.
she's like-
I would say it's pretty casual. I don't think he's like. I
No,
don't
yeah.
want to put words in Corvus's mouth, but I don't think he's like. He's not trying to put it on, like, lay it on thick, right? Like, this is just a
Right,
very
right.
casual. Hey,
Right.
this is how I feel. You feel however back.
Oh. Oh. That doesn't. Why now? She curls up the letter, still very much like she's trying to figure out, because she's very confused. Because she's just kind of like, this is a very, like, as far as time to have written, or like this whole thing. So she rolls it up, and then she kind of goes in her bag to still look for the balm that she's gonna give to Orchid. But she does do something. She's going to cast Sending, because she's going to try to ask a little bit, of Corvus, like, huh, my dog, what is this? So yes, so she's gonna cast Sending really quick, and I know that obviously that's,
Hang
we
on.
don't have him here.
Hang on. I'm gonna let me. I gotta. We're doing this live, folks. So let me pull up our good friend Jaden King.
Actually, wait, hold on, because we didn't do a rest. I can't send.
Oh, you don't have sending yet, do you?
No.
Because you were asking about the lemonade stands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you asked about
Wasted on the lemonade
you asked about the lemonade stand today. Yep.
So never mind. I'm gonna retro that, and like she's about to, and then she's like she's holding she looks down, she looks at the ointment, and then she puts away the letter. So she was going to, but she basically took a second, and then she goes to try to meet up with the rest.
Have we rested since I used my butt statue to talk to Eden?
What?
Do that.
I think that was
by
in the morning.
sending
I think that was in the morning that you guys did that. It was
Okay,
like
so we haven't rested
as you were entering, getting ready to go into Guanyamalis, you did. Yeah. But you return with the ointment. Do you now, when you're getting ready, do you close your door, Orchid, or did you leave it open for purposes of people coming in and out?
I mean, I definitely left it unlocked. I mean, yeah, I probably closed the door to like change out of like the sweat-soaked clothes. So
the door.
Let's say the door's closed.
the door before you, Fanara, is closed.
Okay.
As you round the corner.
Banara will knock.
That's no fun. All right.
Wow, what is going on here? Are we gonna? my plot
So
my
fun.
my plot points are just gone.
Was I supposed to barge in there?
You two,
No,
jeez.
it's true. It's true to it's what your character doing.
She's a sweet bean. She's not a perv.
I
Or
know.
maybe.
Oh my
I mean, no, she could just be distracted. Anyway, it's fine. Orchid then opens up the door after a minute, and she's like pulling down her shirt.
And immediately, because I'm pretty sure that as the shirt is coming down, because Fanara's short, she can see the abs. And she blushes
probably.
the deep shade of sea green all across her cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then she diverts her eyes. I brought the ointment that I mentioned that's good for the balm for your muscles.
The muscle sauce.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Great. So I just rub it on.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can show you. So then there's a method to how you should apply it properly. Yeah, let me. Okay, if you don't mind, I'll over here.
No, yeah, that'd be great.
And she's like ushering you to wherever, like if there's like
Yeah,
a
I'll
little
probably
sitting area.
I guess it probably the chair, because the bed's a pile of leaves, right? So probably the chair would be the easiest at the desk.
Yeah.
Stool.
Yeah, there's a small chair there that you could sit at. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what kind of shirt are we dealing with here? This
It's
is
probably just like
important.
a tunic.
So arms are exposed.
Yeah, probably like a shorter sleeve.
Okay,
too.
all
Well,
right.
or like she could roll up her sleeves because they'd be wide. Yeah.
If you don't mind. And then she's like kind of at the edge of the shirt to like roll it up.
Yeah.
And then she tries to look away as she does it, like respectfully. But she opens up the balm and takes a little bit of it. She's like, so the smell might come off a little bit strong, but it settles and it smells really nice once you make sure to rub it in properly. So you want to make sure. And she takes your arm and she's like, you go nice and slow, kneading the skin. I know it's harder to do this on yourself, but if you need me to help apply it, I have no problem doing that. But it's just circular motions like this, and then she's like working her way up.
Yeah, that feels really good.
Yeah. Oh wait, is this? This knot right here. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Sorry. Sometimes you got to add a little pressure, even though she's thinking that she's adding a lot of pressure but it's not really because her strength isn't that high. So, but yeah, so she's kind of going through that whole motion, and then right here you just want to dig right into the tissue right there. Yeah. How is that all right? Am I putting too much pressure on your arm?
No, it feels great.
Okay, you seem like I don't know the expression. I was worried I was hurting you.
No, definitely not.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you just want to apply that to any areas where you're feeling tension, and all of the different ingredients will soak into those aching muscles, and you'll feel good as new.
You are truly the best. Just
Stop it! You're being too kind.
you're being too kind. I mean, really, all of you. I just I'm really glad we got to travel together.
Me
Gosh,
too.
I don't. Yeah. And then she sort of thinks, I guess I don't really know. Because I don't really know what's going to happen next.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's the beauty of it. We're all going through this on this journey together, and we don't really know where it'll lead. But I feel like everything so far, I feel like, we ended up finding and meeting you and each of our friends that are part of the party, and we experienced some scary things and some very interesting people along the way. But I feel like it's made us even closer and also too stronger as individuals. But we're stronger together, of course.
I have to agree. Right. 2 to 3 to 6 heads are better than one.
That's true.
Man, I wonder how the rest of them are doing.
I
Hope they're
know.
okay.
Yeah, and you see that she kind of gets lost in thought, for a moment, where she kind of like is looking kind of towards the window, wherever it's placed in your room, as what she's saying, it kind of trails off for a second. Oh, yeah, I wonder how everybody's doing.
Well, and then Orchid stands up and holds out her hand to you. Should we go get dinner?
Oh, yes. I'm sure you're starving. You were carrying all those things. I still feel quite awful about that. We should try to get
No, don't worry
Martha.
about it. I mean, that's what I'm here for. And then she like flexes, their arms are so
And again, just yeah, and man, you know what? I just hope that parent did not get the group in trouble, because you know how that boy sometimes, and then she's basically like rushing out.
I gotta say, I think all 3 of them are equally capable of getting that group in trouble, if I'm honest.
You know what? Yeah, to be quite honest, you're probably right. But again, I still think that parents sometimes. But I still love
I
him.
mean, I
Yeah.
guess there was the incident of him just stealing stuff. That was a choice.
Yeah. It was a very interesting choice that, quite frankly, I know Mama and Daddy are not going to be happy about if they ever find out.
Oh, are you gonna tell?
No, I'm not a tattletale. But then at the same time, sometimes, as you see, my mouth gets to moving, and I might forget. It's happened before. But yeah, I love him. I love him to death. I'm gonna try not to get him in trouble any more than he gets his own self in trouble, of course.
I mean, it's true. You'd just be telling the truth of what happened. He has to be the one responsible for his own actions.
See, I like the way you think.
Art. While that all is going on and they're preparing and getting ready and reading letters, what are you doing in your chambers?
So, how much time will have passed during this exchange?
I'd say probably about 10 minutes or so. I mean, enough time to wash up and probably 15 because there's the whole massage too. So, yeah, I'd say about 15 minutes ish.
Okay, that's not a lot of time, but I'd still like to try and see if there's any sort of a check I can do to see how far I made on this particular progress. Pretty much once everyone went to their rooms and I closed myself in, the first thing that I did was I analyzed what was available to me in this room and tried to see if I had the resources necessary to attempt to fabricate a small wagon.
Okay, hang on. What? So you want to make a small wagon? You want to deconstruct everything in the room that you rented to build a small wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, by small wagon, how big are we talking?
How big can I make it?
You can make it like, the little like Playmobil ones we had when we were kids.
Uh-huh.
Like that size?
Okay.
Was that what you were thinking, or were you thinking a little bit bigger than that?
I mean, if I can go any bigger, then sure, but I mean, I'll start there.
I'd say that's probably, given the size of the room, the fact you have to fit it out of the doorway, and the amount of things that you'd have to deconstruct, which is really just the table, the chair, and the bed. I'd say, that's probably your best. Go ahead and give me a crafting tools for that. Or crafting, tinker tools.
Tinker tools? Okay. Yeah. Would this apply my tool proficiency?
Yes, it would. So it'd be double, I believe.
Double proficiency, yes. Well, that was a horrible roll, unfortunately. So let's see. That's gonna come out to 6 plus. So that's gonna be 16 total.
16 total. I'd say you get a very so the obstacle that you need to overcome, Art, is that you have the cart built. You have the little handle, everything, right? You have a place for you to sit, or a place for a dual car to sit, and then a place for like everything to, like whatever goods or resources you were going to put in there, right? The one thing that's missing is that you don't have wheels. You have a lot of there's a lot of wood material that you can make, and sure, you could probably cut out and craft a circular wooden wheel. But like, how good is a wheel made out of like a quarter of a table gonna look? Like, gonna function?
Right.
So I'd say when you're thinking of functionality, you leave out the wheels in hopes that you find wheels somewhere else.
Okay.
But as for the bed of it and like the fact that it can fit things in it, 100% complete.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, well, I'll have to pick up where I left off on that a little bit later, as all of a sudden my stomach just grumbles. I think it might be time for us to maybe take a break to grab a bite, I guess. Dokar, why don't you come along? Let's get something to eat.
And he kind of hops around in between your legs as you make your way to the door. About the same time, you can see that Finara and Orchid have already kind of turned the corner, like turned out of the room and made their way down the hall to the tavern hall.
We went to go get Art first.
Oh, okay. You went to go get Art. They're like coming out to like knock on your door as the door swings open. And you all venture it's only like a 5-foot jaunt to the tavern hall. There you can see there's a table set out for you guys. There's a small, not small, but like a salad bowl filled with all different types of greens and cranberries and almonds and drizzled with this like reddish looking vinaigrette. There are look to be some sort of fowl, whether it's quail or like turkey or something like that, like smaller though, spread out and cooked as well. And then in front of each of you is a kind of fluted glass that has this silvery liquid within it. As the elf comes back around, I hope everything's to your liking. Lunch is usually something a little bit more light, especially in the afternoon like this. So I'll make sure that you guys have a proper dinner when you return though.
Thank you so much. It looks all very delicious.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Oh, I realize we have been very rude. What is your name, sir?
My name's Theron.
Theron. Nice to meet you. My name is Finara Valai.
I'm Orchid.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
Art.
Nice to meet you all. Welcome to the Creaking Boughs, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. We don't get many visitors, so it's I don't quite get the experience that I so desperately need in this position. So I thank you. And he goes back and quickly like grabs a couple drinks from the couple that are couple other patrons that are seated here before returning back behind the bar, and like you've watched as he waxes the same spot on the table for like the 5th time in a row. Not really sure what to do at this point. Yeah.
So, have you lived here your whole life?
Oh, me. Yes. I've grown up here. I've lived here my whole life. Yes.
Very wonderful.
Yeah, it's a nice place to live. You get to see a lot of new things, and you're always on the move. Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about the Temple of the Wild Mother or the head priestess there?
Yeah, the temple is responsible, and you'll head up a little bit higher, and you'll get a little bit closer to the Blooming Henge. Um, there, you'll meet with I believe it's anything's for a minute. You wouldn't meet with the bow tenders. You'd meet with bow mother. Galena? No, that's not right. That's not right. And he thinks really quick, and DM's gonna double check his notes because he has it right here. And he says, "Bow tender Ganora. Ganora's her name. Bow mother Ganora. She's in charge of the temple. I don't normally go there. I don't. Ganora is Gennora. Ganora. Or Genora is how you could also pronounce it, depending on your dialect. But Genora is the one who is in charge of the small temple that's there. It's not really a temple, more than a place of sanctuary, a focal point near the blooming henge.
What's the Blooming Henge?
Well, so you'll get a different story from a couple of people. However, I believe the story that the temple will tell you is that so long ago, this used to be an ent, right? It used to have a head. It used to be a living, breathing child of Relkath ent. When the gods waged their war and we decided to fight alongside the gods and fight with Melora, the head of our great city was removed from the body. Melora, in her quickness to ensure that we, or at least our ancestors, survived, planted a portion of her divinity, her a seed, into the space where the head was missing and the blooming henge grew.
Wow, that's incredible.
It used to be the city used to just stand tall and just very, very motionless. But
Ooh.
one of the queens a long time ago learned how to. The queen and some of the druids found ways to coax the ent back into movement, or the city back into movement.
I was very curious to find out about how this thing moves.
That you would have to speak with the High Queen, as she is the only one who can facilitate its movements, or at least give the orders for people to see some of the workings of it. I don't know if it's actually workings or if it just does it by nature now. You may also be able to ask Honora. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, are we ready to head out? As we finish up.
Yeah.
Well, you say you haven't finished your plates yet.
Oh.
Cartoon, open up jaw,
Yep,
shovel
yep.
food in,
Just
close
a
jaw.
full Scooby-Doo, just like
The whole sandwich.
unhinge my jaw, just swallow it whole.
Yep. When you drink the liquid that is in the wine glasses, I need everybody to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! What?
Concern.
What?
Why am I rolling
Oh
so bad
no! No!
You are level 5 now. Do you get anything for level 5 as a paladin?
today? Oh, I mean, you two will get, yes. You'll get a +2 on saves because you're nearby me.
Okay.
That doesn't
All right.
apply to you?
No, it does.
Oh, cool.
It's already factored into my character sheet. So
Awesome.
Fanara, how'd you do?
Thanks to that +2, 17.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, we got the same here.
So 17, 17, and Orchid?
8.
Cool.
Oh,
Because you shoved everything down your throat.
Perfect. Yeah, you just shove the glass in there and you get, that's why. No.
Just chugged it.
Cool. Good to know. You guys all feel pretty chill right now. You feel pretty good. The liquid itself was, what's the way to describe it? It was cool and like smooth, like water is, like water is, but it had this like hint of,
Poison?
yes, no, it had this like hint of citrus and mint, like combined in it, as like the aftertaste. Which like normally you'd think like orange juice and like toothpaste. No, but it's like that, like it's not like the very, very strong. It's like lime water or like lemon water with
so like
little
a
hint of mint.
like a mojito.
Yeah, it's like a mojito. There we go. That's the word. A mojito. Thank you, Eddie.
Wait, we have a whole brand of lemon water. Nobody else better be trying to do the lime lemon water.
I thought it was
Not on
like-
my watch.
Yeah. The Fanara aid. There we go. But no. But yeah, no. You guys quickly eat, and then leave for the Blooming Henge and the temple to the Wild Mother. And as we ascend and you follow the paths that twist and wind around the back, like the inside of the body of Minthable, we're going to take a quick break as we transition scenes. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So go do what you need to do. Drink some water. Go stretch and move your legs a bit. And we'll see you in a few minutes.
And get lost in the muscle sauce.
All the muscle.
Hi.
Ice cream.
You scream.
You scream.
Yeah.
We all scream.
Super
We
ice
all
cream.
scream for Art Scream. But welcome back.
Oh no.
Why is Art screaming? We'll never know.
It's because they came from my toes.
Listen, the wood elves here are not going to come after your toes. They'll come after
Thank
your,
goodness.
they'll come after your fingers. Yeah, they
He
have
needs those.
they have a different game. That
I
they put,
need
no, I'm
them.
kidding.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, no. But, so, you guys had a nice late lunch before ascending and finding your way up through the city of Minthable, the city core that now kind of is in this semicircle, hollowed out portion of the body of this giant wandering end. You ask for directions quickly, are given a set of winding stairs to follow, and begin to ascend. It takes you probably about a half hour to climb them, given that numerous breaks are probably necessary to avoid any sort of real fatigue. Given the fact that you guys aren't used to climbing, one, this high, two, for this long. But as you climb,
So many stairs.
you notice that the buildings are becoming less and less on either side of the staircase. Most aren't. Most are embedded within the body of the end, and very few are built like out or overhanging the walkway that you guys are following. You continue upward, climbing and climbing. It now becoming more and more residential, but it looks like almost upper nobility-esque. You're starting to see, albeit small, manses and villas, very similar to kind of what you would have seen in Deep Well. But this architecture is a lot a lot more inspired by like ancient Mesopotamian style of architecture. Really surrounded by vines and bringing out the natural elements of the wood rather than the handcrafted nature of stone. You climb until you reach a portion of the stairwell that ends in a giant archway. This archway is covered in what looks to be a series of hedges that make up this kind of like ivy wrapped and like flower like wall. The space in between and underneath it very neatly trimmed and organized and kept. But as you step through, you are met with the boughs of the blooming henge coming down and now kind of overhanging where you now stand. You follow through, and as you push through and look about, you can see up, leaping from bough to bough, a number of individuals who seem to be taking care of the tree. You're not quite sure. Every once in a while, one will kneel down on one of the large overextending branches and place their hand on the wood and sit there for a moment before you see a small flower begin to bloom and then very quickly fall off and drift down into the city below. You push forward to see a small patch of grass. This almost circular space, a small grove. There are smaller bushes of different floral arrangements around you, but it's meant more to be a gathering space than anything. Situated on the far side of this space, you can see carved out of the wood. All of this space is carved out of the wood that makes up Minthable. But carved from the wood, you can see the likeness of the goddess Melora, a tall woman with this kind of crown of antlers above her head. Down and around her back, you can see long flowing hair laced and trailed with flowers and vines, and occasionally it looks like the roots of trees. At her feet, you can see where she's walking and stepping. Looks like what you think at first are flowers, but then as you look closer are just the tiniest replicas of forests. And around her hands and her, kind of like surrounding her lower body, you can see different animals beginning to flock around her, between like small birds kind of flying, like almost like satelliting her.
Were there...
We'll go straight for the statue and then kneel before it. Like, put a hand over her heart while she looks at it for a minute.
Cool. Art?
Art's going to get hyperfixated on the instantly growing flowers and is going to wander towards them.
Okay. The ones that are up, like, in the trees themselves. Like, within the tree itself.
You said they were, like blooming, like instantly, like, sort of a
Yeah,
thing?
so what would happen was one of these elves would land on a tree, like on a segment of the branches, and almost place their hand on it and sit there quietly for a moment, and you'd watch as a flower blooms in the space like in front of their hand, and then it would gently, just like as the breeze moves in, would shift and move down the city. Like it would detach from the tree itself and float down.
I would like to try and see if I can catch one.
Sure. Where you're at, they do fall a little bit into this small grove. So I'd say, roll a d20 real quick. To see where the closest one is.
Not fall off the tree.
Well, we're off to a good start with a 4.
A 4. You do notice one. You do notice you see an elf climbing up ahead of you, and as you go to follow, you're kind of you're parallel to this statue of the Wild Mother, and you're staring up. And as you do, you watch as the elf puts their hand on the tree. A small, kind of like this bright orange flower blooms, and after a couple seconds of you watching, it slowly starts to fall and drift down toward you on the edge of this clearing. And if you're going to attempt to try to snag it, I will need you to make a acrobatics check for me, or athletics.
I honestly don't know which one is better. I think acrobatics might be slightly better. It is. That's going to come to a 13.
At 13, you manage to account for the drift in the wind, and thankfully the wind is drifting in your direction as you kind of reach out and extend. You don't overextend, but you reach out and extend your arm, and the flower just kind of gently lands in the center of your palm.
I'm going to carry it uncharacteristically gingerly, just kind of awestruck by it as I slowly regroup with the others.
Okay.
I would say that Finara, seeing that Orchid is bowing, obviously, like, because she's familiar with this kind of, almost reverence to, a deity, because she does that for Avandra. But she wants to take a closer look at the statue. Are there any writings or etchings on this particular statue, or like the base of it?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay, that's a 13.
As you look around the base, you know bits of... I'd say you can catch a bit of Sylvan. And what you've learned of Sylvan, you'd be able to tell that it says something along the lines of taking care of nature and like stewardship. Almost like following in the footsteps of. Orchid, as you kneel and quietly, as you kneel quietly in reverence to Melora.
I am praying. If that's
Yeah,
what you
so
I am.
so you're praying. What does that process look like for you, and what are you looking for in response? I guess would be my best question.
I feel like the relationship that Orchid has sort of, or like her understanding of how her relationship should be with Melora is that Melora helps those who helps themselves. Like nature is often like it can be up to chance, but it can also just be up to like who is the strongest. And so I think she very rarely like asks for anything aside from things like give me the strength to do this, like. So I think in this one she can't help but like I really hope I'm not here too late. I think she's just asking for the strength to lean on Melora, but while also sort of offering her thanks for getting her this far.
Okay.
I don't think she generally expects anything specific in return.
Okay. I would say as you are sitting here, that slight kind of dread of have I gotten here in time? The boughs of the tree above you part briefly, and you are kind of washed with the remaining rays of the waning sun. feels warm, comforting. A light in this brief moment of darkness for you.
Orchid, after feeling that, stands up and starts looking around to see if there is someone she can speak to, clutching the locked box that she has taken these many, many miles.
As you turn, you're more than kind of caught off guard. Finara, you being kind of fixated on finding some sort of a semblance of writing, art with your flower, you didn't notice, didn't hear, didn't see this elven woman step out from behind a group of these flowers. Almost as if she'd been kneeling behind them the entire time. Now she's only maybe a handful of steps away from the three of you by the statue. This lightly tanned, freckled, long, flowing brown hair that goes to about the mid-back. It's like caramel-colored haze, like caramel-colored eyes. Kind, but you can tell there's a sense of like power or strength behind them. Slight woman, but tall. Almost like lengthy and gangly, if it weren't for like movement with the trees. She wears very simple greens in terms of like coloration of her clothes, with this long flowing cloak that looks to be made of a combination of vines and flowers. It stops maybe about a foot after reaching the ground. Kind of walks with her. I see you are in deep contemplation with our dear Wild Mother.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Orchid. I've traveled all the way from the Temple of Kabul on the Isle of Hesh. I was sent to bring this box to our sister temple. I was told that the head of the temple would know what to do with it.
You watch as she's very much scanning and reading you as a person. Not so much like trying to figure out who you are.
Like my soul
but
is being
more so,
weighed.
not even your soul, but more of like she's trying to figure out where your foundation is, right? Where who you are kind of resides. And you watch as she very much is like constantly glancing kind of toward your feet, and where you're how you stand or how you hold yourself. What? You have not heard from our kindred of the Isles in some time. Why do they reach out now?
Do you, are you familiar with the Zentherum Empire and their expansion and invasion of the Isles?
You watch as her brow furrows for a moment. I know of the different Isles, yes. I did not know that one was at war with the others.
They're pillaging our resources. They're basically against everything that our temple stands for, and our temple's tried to remain out of the conflict, but I think things are escalating.
And so you were sent here for what? To ask for something from us?
Yeah, I will admit my instructions were vague. They just handed me this, said go to Minthville and they'll understand. So if you don't understand, that's unfortunate. Well, I suppose I introduced myself, but you haven't introduced yourself. If I may be so bold as to ask who I am speaking to.
I apologize. We are not very accustomed to outsiders being present here. I am our mother, Janora. I take care of this small space here dedicated to the Wild Mother, and I'm the primary caretaker of this great tree that was her gift to us. Oh, please, sorry, bring me. She motions for you to step forward with the box. And she takes a moment and looks at it. And with her hand, she kind of twists, and you watch as a portion of the tree, one of the kind of smaller branches of the tree, kind of coils and moves downward toward the lock that is on it, and unlocks the box, and the lid flips open. Before she looks in, she looks at you. You have no idea what you brought to me, do you?
None at all.
And your two friends here.
Oh, hello.
What part do they play in this?
Well, to make a long story short, they've helped me get this far. I met them when I washed up on shore, was kidnapped, and they set me free and then have generously accompanied me all this way. This is Finara, also of the Isles, and she is a follower of Avandra, and this is Art, who is incredibly clever with machines.
Hi.
And butter.
Pleased to
Not
meet you.
imagine the things he can do with butter. It's truly unbelievable.
It's true. It's really impressive. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And then she's gonna do like a deep curtsy. And she does say, "Pleased to make your acquaintance" in Elvish, by the way.
It is nice to see a sister of the sea.
Art is going to attempt to mimic whatever it is that Finara just said, not knowing what it means.
Make a performance check,
Yes.
please.
A performance check, that's going to be a 12.
12. Yeah, try your best. And as you kind of bow and make this weird jumbling of noises, it's like kind of like like me. She bows her head. It is a pleasure to meet one of your kind, young goblin. And she moves and sits moves to sit cross-legged on the ground, bringing the box down in front of her. and kind of motion as she does, motions for you to do the same.
I will sit.
The first piece that she pulls out is a small, almost what looks to be like somewhat petrified, though it's not, like almost on the verge of decay, I would say, or verge of petrification. A small branch, and as you look at it and look up and around you, you immediately recognize it as a sliver or a portion of the budding henge. And she looks at it for a moment before placing it off to the side. The second thing she looks at, and second thing you see in the box, and she looks at it, but does not touch, is a sliver, and by almost needle-like, about the size of a small kind of quill, her ink pen, but much finer and far, like, when at either end, much more needle-like, maybe about that long at the most. And you watch as her face immediately kind of grows grim. And then she reaches and pulls out a small piece of parchment that was at the very, very bottom. Looks it over for a moment before placing that down. You can see, Orchid, that it's written in Owlbear's hand. You come to find answers, and to find aid. We can provide one, but you must seek out the other.
Which one?
We can send some of those who are able to help our kid in the Isles. We were more or less closer connected in days of old, and as time and changes in our faith divided us, we grew distant. And she glances over at the branch. We gave them a token of our friendship long ago. And now it seems that olive branch is being given back. So, as a measure of good faith, we will do what we can to help your people survive. I will have to consult with the Queen first, but I think given the fact that this is more of a temple or religious issue than anything, that I can throw some weight to it. And she kind of smiles for a moment. However, the thing you must seek is not of this plane. And she really quickly kind of conjures a vine and pulls this piece out. And you notice, like, at first it looks almost like it's wood. And as the vine wraps around it and pulls it out, the coloration of it turns from that wood color, because it's actually more clear than anything, so it was mimicking the color, to this almost clear crystalline blue. And she extends her hand toward you, Orchid. And as you extend yours, she grabs it and moves it toward this object, very delicately, until you get maybe about 2 inches from it. The first thing you notice is as you get closer, the air around it becomes colder and colder.
What is it?
It is a shard of pure ice. When embedded into an individual in the right way, and in the right spot, typically closest to the heart, it transfers the warmth, their will, their natural energy and spirit that's positive, to a place that none of our kin have gone in many years.
So it just sends the spirit to another plane? Is that what you're saying?
In a sense, yes. It keeps the body in a cold, dormant state, while who the person... She's trying to find the right words. It takes the fire that's inside of us as living, breathing beings, our will to push forward and persevere, and it gives it to one who turns it from that warmth into the cold and bitter of winter. I've heard of her kind abducting and taking the hearts of individuals, but this is something slightly newer. And it seems that whoever you are fighting is allied with her.
With who?
The Winter's Wrath, the Queen of Ice and Frost, the heir to the Unseelie Court, or heiress, the Unseelie Court.
Oh. So, DM, I feel like I definitely know what the Unseelie Court is. Have I heard of this specific person?
Roll a history check to see if it would have been something that you would have been brought up in your youth.
It's an 11.
An 11. So you know of the Unseelie Court. You know of the Seelie Court. You know that the courts are then divided in half. So in the Seelie Court, you have the summer and the spring, and in the Unseelie, you have the autumn court and the winter court.
Right.
Oh wait, Fanara knows stuff about this.
You would know that this individual, you wouldn't know her name per se, but she goes by many titles.
Clearly.
The Queen of Frost and Snow, the Mistress of Blizzards, the Queen of the Court of Winter.
Oh, DM, because of the fact that they were at that one library where she read and dealing with the Archfey and the Unseelie Court and how powerful they were. The Lord of Bone, like, would she know if there's a connection between this individual that they're talking about and the Autumn Court, Lord of Bones? Like, what's
You would know that
the
they.
connection there?
You would know that they share a. So the Autumn Court and the Winter Court are both sit in the Seelie or Unseelie Court. While the Autumn Court is seen as the lesser of the two courts, as the Winter Court resides closer to the heart of the Queen of the Unseelie Court.
Wait, is the Queen of the Unsealed is that the Night Mother?
The Night Mother would be one of the names for her, yes.
Wait, no, the Lord of Bones is the one with the necromancy and the
Correct.
the army of the dead
Correct.
or undead.
But he falls
Okay.
under the Autumn Court, who Ganora is referring to is the master of the Winter Court. So the Lord of Bones is in charge of the Autumn. You are now learning of the leader of the Winter Court. So they're two sides of they're two halves of the whole. And then they would both fall underneath the rule of the Night Queen.
Oh, okay. Her. Right. Actually.
If it's
And then a tiny Eden appears in my head. Does the phrase, speaking of her, does the phrase, and then she speaks this in Sylvan, winter's night, mean anything significant to you?
she sits for a moment and you know what? Fuck it. She's gonna do something. She stands up and then takes a step back, and she starts with her hand. You watch as the grass around her starts to shift and change into a grouping of arcane sigils. And she's going to attempt to cast Commune. And she will sit and attempt to commune with Melora and get the answer to that question for you. Which will give me, let me see. Roll, Orchid, since this is your request, roll me a D100.
Ooh.
All right, Taryn, I'm rolling the dice that you made for me, so we'll see if they want you to get this answer. That's a 96.
You watch as for a moment her eyes flash this bright, vivid green. She stares up at the boughs of the trees, and you watch as this huge gust of wind comes and shifts through the trees. And around you, these flowers begin to almost continuously fall as if raining. The color in her eyes goes away, and she kind of readjusts and sits a little bit more upright and fixes how she's sitting and moves closer back to you all. It refers to what could be many things, but primarily the ascension of Winter's Queen to the head of the Unseelie Court.
That makes sense, I think.
To do so, though, however, any opposition to her ascension must be cut, and a sacrifice must be paid.
So, summarize everything we've just talked about. Our enemies are using a weapon that would take our vitality to give that to the queen, who needs a sacrifice for her upcoming ascension. Are those all dots that might be connected?
I don't know how she uses what was given to her by your enemies.
Fair enough.
I don't know if this is something... I don't know why Owlbear included this. And she kind of looks at you for a moment. And why do you have such a personal connection to this? Why would Owlbear care that the Winter Court was killing his kind?
Our temple's always had a close connection to the Spring Court. And it's probably obvious that Orchid is not saying everything.
And you can tell by looking around. You can tell by looking around this place, this is not the Spring Court. This is very much, things are grown and in full bloom at this point. This is very much the embodiment of the Summer Court.
Oberon, right?
Oberon is the ruler of... Let me double check. Oberon and... I think it's... Oh gosh, I always butcher her name. Titania? Yeah, Titania. Queen Titania and King Oberon are the head of the Seelie Court. The leader of the Summer Court would be the Oak Lord. But she sits for a moment and... Kabul, where are you?
Sorry, was that a question?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
Yes, let me speak plainly. Does Kabul have a connection with the Spring Court? Or do you? You could also say both. You can also say both if you wish, because I do know Kabul has a connection with the Spring Court.
It's then I suppose both would be the most honest answer I could give.
And why would you be sent with this dilemma of fixing the Winter Court? Or finding out how to stop the effects of this relic.
Oh.
Why were you chosen to come here?
That would be because connecting the dots, probably my sister was struck by one of these, and that's why she's sleeping and won't wake up. I think if Owl wasn't, or Owl, if Orchid wasn't sitting, I think she would probably have sat down. It like kind of looks like her mind is racing at this point.
I'll say in response to that, you watch and Yonora kind of moves her hands again, and behind you, some of the earth kind of like moves to prop you up and act as a backrest. So that way you can kind of relax a little. Owlbear has given you the burden of saving your sister.
Well, he also went to the spring court himself. At least that's what he said he was going to do.
Huh. Then I must...
Sorry.
He went to the spring court. And I must do my best to have you meet him there.
You can do that? You can just, I guess that makes sense.
It requires a lot of power and energy, but I can very much try.
Right. Well, should we, do you have ways of contacting the temple? Or do you need...
I would have to be familiar with somebody there, which unfortunately I've not. I've not visited the temple in Kabul.
Right. And I'm guessing you just know Owlbear by reputation or from this letter?
He wrote that his name was Owlbear in the letter, so that's how I know of him. There's one thing we could try. I would need you to give me a description of him, though.
Oh, right. Okay, well, he is even taller than me. He's like this huge, I mean, the bear part of his name is like very apt. Or I mean, I guess owl bears are huge, yeah. He's probably, gosh, must be like 7 feet at least. Like very wide. His face is like pretty brown. He's got, his tusks are like really prominent. His green is sort of like, and she like looks around and then like points at a sort of like olivey green. It is like, his skin is kind of like this color. And his eyes are like, they have this very intense look about them. They're like, and she like starts like just like tracing the on the ground. And his eyes are like this super vibrant green, especially when they'll like sometimes shine with light when he uses magic, and it's like really spooky but also really cool. He wears this big cape. He like wears an owl bear skin when he's like being formal and intimidating. He's like the coolest guy I know. Seriously, he's got, I mean, like his muscles are like, she starts to just completely gushes.
Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. Now they might not be on the same plane though, if he's in the Fey realm, right? So.
Sending works across planes.
Does it? I thought they only worked on the same.
Nope. Sending
25.
Sending can work across planes. It's a what?
25.
25. It has a. I bump it up a little bit more for my games because especially when another person is doing it on behest of the party. But typically it's about a 10% chance of failure. cross planes,
Okay.
give or take. So she sits there, and one moment you watch as her eyes, and in Sylvan, you hear, this is Bowmother Ganora. I am with your child. What do you wish me to do? Where are you? A couple moments go by. You wait, and she's sitting at this point cross-legged, waiting for a response. He told me to send you, and for you to seek out an Enorin?
Enerin?
Enorin, sorry. You know what this means, yes? I have no clue.
Yes, I do. That means that I do need your help sending me to the Spring Court.
Alright. I will do what I can. Give me a day to ensure that I have the proper arrangements to be able to take us there, as I will need to get back promptly after. If there's any arrangements you need to make, see them done.
I will.
I will also reach out to the Queen and ensure that we send emissaries to aid your people in Kabul.
Right.
And she lets out this very clear whistle that resounds across the entirety of Minthfable. And it's almost as if the forest itself stands still for a moment. The wardens will be recalled.
I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Don't be grateful for anything just yet. One favor does not win a conflict. Just as me transporting you to the Feywild will not solve all your problems.
Nevertheless, I think I should thank people who helped me, even if it's only a few steps.
She nods. Whether it's one or many, we all walk this world. We all share the same earth.
Right. I feel like I should be writing you directions and maybe a letter of introduction for when you get to the temple on the other side.
I'm less worried about that and more about getting you to the Feywild and getting back in one piece. It's been quite some time since I've been there, and even then I have not been to the court in which... the place in which he's telling me to go. He conveyed a space. So I'll try my best to get you there.
Again, I am truly grateful.
If there's any preparations that you need from me, anything else that you need, any assistance I can provide before we depart, let me know. When you're ready, we will go.
All right. Shall we reconvene tomorrow morning?
As you wish. And she
Okay.
bows low, and The vine places the shard back into the box. The branch she takes and puts onto her person, like on her belt. I will properly dispose of this. And she looks into the box and she picks up and walks away. When she does, her body language, roll an insight check. And anybody else who would like to can as well. Sorry, Fenara and Art. Sorry, Fenara and Art. You two are just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
But Fenara's
that's-
making these references because she read the stuff, so she's like, oh no, this isn't good.
Yeah, it's an 8 from me.
Okay.
It's not that much better for me. It's only 15.
I mean, that's pretty
Okay.
significantly better than an 8. Almost twice as good.
It's not a 27.
You have such high insight that it feels low.
Yeah.
Did Jaden give Jaden gave somebody a something?
Yes.
I think everyone has a
He
D4.
gave Fenara a D4. It looks like.
You know what?
Oh wait, yeah, he gave everybody a D4. So if you'd like to add a D4 to your rolls, you may.
Let's do it. Why not?
It's an
Why
11
not?
from me.
Okay.
That is a 17.
With a 17, your 11 doesn't pick it up. But with a 17, Fenara, you know something is off. You did just get a D20 inspo from Taryn, so I will let you use that if you want, Orchid. Or if you want to save it. I'll let that be your choice.
How much more of a session do we have left tonight?
It's 10:30, so probably not much. Not much that you would need a skill check for.
May as well try it. Let's see.
Yeah.
No,
I do have a question.
No, that was a 1 on the second one.
Oh no! I have a question though. When you say something's off, meaning because I feel like Fenara is pretty good at this. Is it that she's maybe holding back something, like the truth, like she's shady, or she's more like affected by what was?
No, there's a weight. There's almost like there's a weight of. There's a weight of what's not untruthfulness, but just not being very forthcoming with knowledge. There's a hint of sadness. There's you see as she's walking away, there's not a shadiness or a her directly lying to you, but there's a almost as if she's leaving something out to avoid Orchid's discomfort.
Got it. Okay.
Like, there's no way we could save my sister, or he added that that Ivy was already dead, or the chance of going to the Fae is gonna kill us.
With a 17, what I can give you, because your passive perception is fucking ridiculous. And your passive
22.
What's your passive insight? And your passive insight is 17 too. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Who are
22.
you? Who are you?
I see everything. She's
what
a sweet being, but
what
she's very observant.
What I will say is the last person besides Orchid and the two of you, by proximity, that she conversed with was Owlbear. And her body language, and her
the
body,
message she conveyed,
and her body language shifted after she left, after conveying the message of Owlbear to you.
So that basically she didn't tell all of the message. Is that kind of the vibe? Okay. All right.
Well, I didn't figure that out, so.
Well, you got a 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Did
Well,
she
I
leave
got
it
an
already,
8.
You
or is
got
she
an 8.
still there?
No, she's in the process of walking away. I mean, she's still in the area. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah,
Okay,
she's still in
yeah.
the area.
Go ahead. Panara's gonna keep her mouth shut until later.
Cool. I will say with that, the 3 of you can kind of do what you wish. If you want to go back and retire for the afternoon and evening, back at the Creaking Bows. If you want to try to look around the city at all, you may. If a little bit of time left in the day before the sun falls.
Maybe we need some Ecriom exposition. So I feel like I should probably talk to you two. Because you guys did not sign up to go to the Feywilds with me.
Well, it's a little concerning, especially the talk of
Especially
Winter
what?
Queen and
Yeah.
well, all the things that I read up on concerning the Archfey and the Unseelie Court, and they're extremely powerful. It's it
You
could be bad news, like really bad, and I
do
don't
you,
know. I feel like we should have we're stronger together. We should have everybody before we go to some place that could be very dangerous.
do you think they'll have some of the answers that Eden's looking for?
That's what I'm wondering as well. But now I'm very concerned because I learned about that Lord of Bones, and then his dealings with the Night Mother and such, and they're bad news. I don't know, but of course I want you to get your answers. I just want to make sure that if I don't know, we have more people in case something happens, or we have to handle things in a certain way.
On the plus side, this might be an opportunity to learn more about how to make that beverage. I don't think I quite got the recipe right.
Oh yeah, we never got that recipe. We would have an opportunity to try it again.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun the last time.
Mhm.
I feel like I feel like I've heard you two talk about this Feywild drink before, but
Oh wait, well, you weren't with us, huh?
no, I wasn't.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Yeah, the Archfey, like it was a whole thing. Like Corvus was not about it, and didn't his boots get taken?
Yeah, they got taken at one point, and then I think that what was it? Perrin got them back. I think.
Yeah. Oh no, and then Perrin, oh gosh, I totally forgot. He made that deal where he has to come up with songs every time he goes to a tavern. I hope he didn't forget.
I just remember
Oh,
the
no.
drink was really good, and I really liked swimming.
Yeah, okay, sorry, we're getting off topic here. All I'm saying, if these people are very powerful and could be extremely dangerous, and I know you want to try to help your sister, and I know that, heck, if it was Perrin in trouble, I would want to do everything possible. I'm just saying, maybe we should try to reach out to the others and then let them know about the situation, so then that way we can all go together, and then it's better that way too. And then also too, like what Art suggested, as far as maybe Eden, maybe there's some connection there with everybody, and we just didn't know it.
I mean, I definitely think that Eden is from the Spring Court, if I'm honest. Like, she really looks like.
Oh, you think so? Well, you've been there. Yeah, that was what they were talking about. She was.
Wait, you've been there?
Yeah. So I guess what can I say? Well, we all know that when you make a promise to the Fae, you can't break it, right?
Can't break it. No.
Right. I may have made a promise about saying things once.
Wait. Oh no, you made a deal like Perrin did? Do you have to say things in a tavern too?
No, it's more not
Violence?
saying things.
Oh. Okay.
keeping secrets.
Oh.
But
Is it about that owlbear person? You have to keep a secret about them?
no, it's about the Enerin person who we're supposed to go find.
Oh.
Owlbear's the one who um found me, I guess you could say.
Oh, like took you in.
Yeah, they're the one who took me out of the Fae.
Oh wow. Wait, were you born in the Fae?
Probably not. Don't really remember. I told you all that I grew up at an orphanage, right?
Yeah, I
Mostly
remember.
elves.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And these elves weren't in the Fae world, or were they? Or was orphanage in that area?
I wonder.
Oh, if I'm prying, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out some things.
Yeah. Keep trying to figure it out. Yeah.
I mean, we all try to get to know each other a little bit better, right? But I will tell you something. Fanara's gonna look to make sure that the the Janara person is gone, out of earshot or range. She thinks
Mm-hmm.
is DM is
Janora?
are they Janora still in the area or no?
Sorry, I was laughing at Art and Eden conversing via chat.
Chat.
Yeah, sending messages via chat, which are now going to be canon. I am 100%. Those are 100% canon.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yep. Sorry, what was your question?
Is this Janara? I can't say it correctly. In the area or like out of range of earshot?
Were you guys staying in the small grove by the statue of Melora while you guys had this conversation, or are you guys kind of moving and talking? I guess would be my question.
That's a good question. Were we group?
Wait, sorry, was that a question for me? I was reading chat.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. I was asking if the conversation that you guys are having, is it like a walk and talk, or are you guys still staying in that grove?
That is a good question. I probably would have stayed in the grove.
Okay.
I think.
And basically, I was just like, I think Art and Fanar, I think that we're just following because we're there for Orchid, so we're gonna follow wherever.
I would say Janora is around, but she's not like immediately close. Like you watch her after she moves the box somewhere secure, and she comes back and she's like moving about in the trees rather than in the grove that you guys are in.
Okay. So then Fanar probably will lower her voice then a little bit. So, with this Janora person, when the message between them and Owlbear was happening, and afterwards, I don't know, I got a little a sense, as I do a lot of times, because I pay attention really closely to people, especially new people, to try to understand them. And I don't know, she seemed a little sad, and maybe I don't know, I feel like how you have to keep your secrets, she might be keeping a little bit of her own, sort of, but not like in a bad way, but like, I don't know, maybe a protective way. But that's just a hint. I don't know. That's what I kind of picked up on as they were leaving.
I think sometimes people don't talk about things when they're not comfortable because it makes them feel something.
You're right, Art. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, maybe so. Okay. Well, I know you were saying you wanted to wait for Eden and Corvus and Perrin, but I mean, we were also talking about leaving tomorrow, and
Oh,
they're
that's true. I'm just nervous that without like more people, if I just don't want you to get hurt, you know? I feel like as long as we're all together, then the chances of anybody getting hurt are a little bit less, maybe.
right.
Can this person be trusted that we're going to talk to? Do you know?
Enrin?
Mm,
Absolutely, yeah.
okay. Well, I don't know, Art. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we told them that we were gonna meet with them after we stopped here, right? So they're gonna be expecting us.
Right, we did make that plan. Okay, I mean, does your statue work? Can we talk to them?
Um, I
You
I
didn't
I
use all the charges talking about muscle sauce or
I think it might need to it might need to cool down a little bit. I think I might have overused it for today, but we might be able to use it tomorrow morning.
I also, too, don't have my connection isn't as strong, let's just say that. I probably need to rest up as well in order to be able to communicate with the rest of the group.
Right.
I don't want to keep you, though.
And-
I'm sorry.
And what I'll give to you, Orchid, is a couple of things to kind of close out and get your guys' in the process, because once we're all back together, then we can sort this out. But you know that there were druids within the order in Kabul that were able to move from place to place within the isles that they knew via trees. Janora has already proved to be someone who has a natural attunement with nature, so that could potentially fall within hers or somebody's within the temple's repertoire.
Right, so we might be able to go get them and then go to the Fae. Is that what you're suggesting?
Something like that. Yeah, find a tree close to them, pull them through the tree, or have them walk through the tree. Yes, you've experienced. I would have said, like, given your experiences with the druids there, it's easy enough for you to be able to assume that they can do something like that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Let me. Maybe I should find Janora again or someone else and ask if we can get our friends once we can talk to them. Maybe we can talk to them tomorrow and we can coordinate. And then, if they know a tree that's near the Wormhaven estate or just that city in general.
I'm sure Eden would know something about it.
You think?
I mean, no.
I mean, her connection to nature and such, and I mean, I've seen her grow lots of flowers and stuff up on the ground, so I'm sure she probably know what tree is the best tree.
And she is so springboard. Anyway,
I wish I knew what that meant. I just know that means she's maybe just very powerful.
well, I just mean like style wise, like she's just like.
Speaking of which, did these kind of remind you of Eden? I don't know. I saw these and it just kind of made me think about the rest of the group, and I kind of missed them.
What does? Does what? The flowers here?
He holds up the flower that he caught earlier.
Oh, those are beautiful. Yeah, I miss them too.
Do you want a hug, Art?
Okay.
And then Orchid's gonna like reach down and then like pick you up in a hug. Nuggy, nuggy, nuggy. All right.
Fenara looks visibly sad that she also was not a part of this.
Wait, do you want to get in on here, Fenara? And then she'll like. All right, there you go. He put you down. All right.
Oh, well, look, that was... Where did I go? Oh, thank you. I'm, well, I'm not great with these things, but I think what you're supposed to say in this is I'm sorry for everything you're going through.
Oh, thanks, Art. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I hope everything is okay with your sister.
Me
Same
too.
here.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'll see her really soon.
And your people as well. It sounds like quite the situation is happening right now back home for you.
Yeah. Hopefully, things haven't escalated too much while I'm gone.
Well,
Hopefully.
well, like Fenara said, we're better together. So if we get all of us together, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Right. Cinnabons!
So what did you use? Cinnabons? Cinnabons.
Cinnabons!
Cinnabon! Muscle sauce! Muscle
I
sauce!
will say, as you awkwardly chant your team motto in the middle of a bunch of folks who are being caretakers for Melora. You and the what do you call it? The blooming
Henge.
the blooming henge. You take some time here to sit and reflect before you eventually head down and back to the creaking bows for a nice dinner and a long rest. As you do, Orchid, I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Right.
Also, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the Red Hair Inn, friends.
61.
61. As you fall asleep, what is one question that you have on your mind?
I am wondering what is happening with Ivy. Is she still alive? Is she still asleep? Is she in the Fae? Just sort of what is happening with Ivy.
As you sleep, well, as you're laying in bed beginning to drift to sleep, the wind comes through your window. And on the breeze, you can hear almost as if the sound of shifting leaves. You will have the opportunity to find her. You will have the chance to bring her back. She is not gone.
Melora?
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the Ecriom Expeditions, with an S at the end. We're going to quickly go around the horn, and then we're going to raid out to our wonderful friends over at the initiative order. So we'll start with the wonderful Fenara.
I've been everyone's favorite Seaflame Peace Domain Cleric, Fenara Finn. I am Utahime. You can find me on social media at UTAHIME, Utahime Cosplay, pretty much everywhere except on Twitter, where you can find me at Brianna DeCoster, if you're still on Twitter. Yes, you can find me I'm up to lots of different shenanigans throughout the week. I am the community manager over at the Initiative Order. So if you want to come and roll dice with an amazing group of people, they're awesome, talented folks over there, and it's very welcoming. So it's for everyone to try new systems and to join in on some fun conversations over there. So please join us. But also too, you can catch me tomorrow on Open Circuit Studios for Leverage Los Angeles. The continuation. It's our second season over there, and things are getting spicy. So if you want to see my very very interesting thief hacker Locke get up to some thievery and other shenanigans, please be sure to check it out. It's an amazing group over there as well. And I'm gonna pass it along to our dear precious Orchid.
Hello, I'm Lizzie Donahue. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Lizzie LD. It has been my pleasure to be here this evening. You will find me here on alternating Tuesdays. I'm so looking forward to seeing the rest of the party all back together. Follow me on social media to see where I might pop up again. Go for it, Eddie.
Oh, hi everyone! I'm here today as your lovely little butterball art, but outside of this wonderful bi-weekly adventure, I am known otherwise as Eddie, otherwise known as the Humble Discount Bard, a humble vaudevillian vagabond spreading shenanigans and antics wherever I go, a full-time troublemaker. I'm here for the chaos, really. That's really what I do here. But you can normally find me, if I'm not here doing awesome stuff like this, you can also find me on my own home channel at twitch.tv/discountbard, where I do variety content. Whatever my current hyperfixation is, it changes on a day-to-day basis. That's kind of how the way it goes. But yeah, otherwise you can follow me on all the social medias at Discount Bard. I'm also on TikTok trying to grow that up, so if you want to see some alternative content there, some fun stuff, some serious stuff, it's all over the place. I'm all over the place. That's kind of the nature of the beast. Anyways, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's pass it to our wonderful DM.
Thank you, Eddie. Yeah. I'm Logan Hanley. You can find me here at the Red Hair Inn, where we do all sorts of fun stuff. On Thursday, Taryn and I will be putting our one brain cell to good use, and chatting about or continuing to chat about some things to deal with Lior, which is our upcoming project that we've announced but haven't really fully announced. So if you want to hang out and talk some ancestries with us on Thursday, you can definitely do that. It'll be at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, give or take. We also, in our Discord, have community games I will be running that take place in real time in the lands of Ecriom. Yeah, I'll be running one on Saturday morning. For those of you interested, feel free to join the Discord. Come join us, have some fun, and join the DSLU, Dungeoneering, Slaying, and Looting Union. But yeah, that's about all from me as well. I don't have anything other than that. Next week we'll kind of play by ear, and in 2 weeks we get the Barefoot Band back together, with the exception of Corvus, who definitely wears shoes.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think Orchid technically does too. Does Orchid? I forget.
I have boots in my picture. She's not opposed to bare feet.
Do we have
though.
to? We gotta have variant. We gotta get variant art done of Orchid without boots. Just for
Without
the...
shoes.
Oh, don't worry. If Orchid spends enough time with Finara, eventually the boots will come off.
All right. Cool.
Foot massage, muscle massage.
All right, we're gonna go read the initiative order. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay on and spread the love to them. Buy them around. Give them all the wonderful. Give them all the love that you shared with us. Until next time, my friends. Stay safe and adventure awaits. Bye now.
Bye.